This is a follow-up to my previous video about this woman, Melanie King. And normally my videos aren't this long, but there is so much to unpack as to who she is and why she's suddenly interested in being on the black side of YouTube. And after doing a little research, I have a better understanding about who she is, because if you'll recall, she declared herself the Moses of the black community, and she's come here to save black women. As I mentioned before, her husband recently divorced her. And in my previous video, I said that I thought her husband was white, because a black man wouldn't divorce his preference, and especially since men don't usually file for divorce. But her husband is black, which makes this even more curious, because after 14 years, he decided he didn't want to be married to her anymore, which means she must have been a nightmare for him. She had a very popular children's YouTube channel with her kids, and her husband. I didn't do too much digging because I'm really not interested, but it was a successful YouTube channel, and it was geared toward her family, and any extras or outside people were actually puppets. And I'm going to show a clip, but what I found interesting is that when the puppets were black, they were very stereotypical. And for me, it was uncomfortable to watch because it felt as if a white person wrote it. But what it really shows is how out of touch with the black community she really is. This first clip is just to show how horrendous the acting was.
Honey! Officer!
Huh? What you want, girl?
What time y'all serve dinner around here? I'm hungry.
Dinner? What you think this is, the Marriott? You ain't getting no dinner.
I ain't getting no dinner. Ooh, y'all wrong. What we supposed to eat?
Maybe you should have thought about that before you was out there boasting.
You wrong. Oh my goodness. I can't wait for my people to get me out of here.
Hi, officer.
Not you again.
Yes, it's me, Cletus.
Ain't you had enough of jail?
And didn't you have enough butt whooping that me and your mama put on you last time?
Oh, you ain't put nothing on me, old woman. I slipped.
Mama, please. Sir, we're here to see Mercedes.
Mercedes? Oh, how y'all know that roughneck?
Don't you be calling her no roughneck boy.
Sir, she's my cousin.
Now, after years of making children's YouTube videos, living in Fantasyland, she now feels she's qualified to help the black community. When she first entered this side of YouTube, she said that Kevin Samuels put her on her purpose, and that was to help the black community and to help black women. Because black men have made her feel like she's a better version of a black woman. So now she's the self-appointed savior of the black community. Her videos are about how black women are the cause of everything wrong with the black community, and black men are perfect. And now the black men see their preference speaking for them. They're falling all over themselves to get to her. Anton on the Lapeef podcast invited her onto their show. And when she described what brought her to this side of YouTube, her purpose seemed to change. Here she says she's just making videos and basically trying to see what sticks as far as relationships. She hooked up with the right person because she and Kevin Samuels are a good match because she is just as fake as he is. I believe she wants to be famous. She has stated that she and her children live a financially privileged life. And remember, she was raised by a white mother and a self-hating father who handed her off to a wealthy black man, so she has not experienced black culture, the black plight, and she probably doesn't even know her father's family. And if her husband hadn't divorced her, she would still be living as if black people didn't exist. And I'm sure some will say that her children are black. Yes, that is true. But they're also very privileged. But now that her husband divorced her, she's looking for something to fill her time. And now she's an expert on the black community and relationships. but she couldn't keep her high value man. Make it make sense.
Yourself, give them a little bit of an insight of who you are and where it is that you come from.
I'm just a chick on YouTube. Been there and just making videos on whatever I feel is interesting. And at the time, and what it's been for the past few months, is this whole dating and relationships and all the other stuff. So, just dabbling, trying different types of videos, see what I really, really want to stick with, and just keep going in on it.
Because her purpose seems to change so much, she can't keep up, and she gets lost in the lies. She was invited on the show because she makes videos mammying for black men and upholding Kevin Samuel's talking points against black women. So as it turns out, because of the types of videos she makes, they brought her on the show to battle two of the women who are regulars, Kay and Kayla. They're educated, professional, strong, and they give pushback when necessary. When the men on the show can't keep up, they call these women masculine. So it seems they brought Melanie King on to battle these women, specifically Kay, who is very good at keeping the men in check. But when Melanie King actually started showing support for Kay, the men went in on her, cursed her out, and reminded her of her position, which is to fight other women for them, specifically Kay.
But I'm going to come at Q. I'm going to come at Kayla. I'm going to come at Chicago, JR, you, Logic, Melanie. I'm coming at y'all all the same way. My only issue is, and that's fine to me, because it's no hard feelings. I love y'all. It's fine. But the thing is, if it's noticeable that certain men go really hard at women and not really hard at men, I think that's a point to be discussed. I don't do that. I don't fall back when it's somebody, blah, blah, blah. And oh my goodness, it's a man, I'm not going to say anything. Or it's a woman, I'm not going to say anything. I'm the same.
So are you saying certain men, or are you saying men in general? Because when you asked Chicago, you was talking about men in general. But now you adding a caveat and you saying certain men.
I'm talking about men in general. If it's right. men in general, if I disagree or you're coming at me sideways, I'm gonna be the same way.
Sometimes you just gotta agree to disagree. I think we can move on.
No. Agree to disagree is some bullshit. Look, she's wrong. Call it.
No. I get that, but you can't. You're not gonna. Kay is on her position, and that's where she's gonna be.
But she's
wrong. She's allowed to be that.
There's nothing that you can do.
And right, there's nothing. We're not going to argue.
What are you going to
do? Any of the other women accountable?
We're going to just keep talking in circles, or are we going to move on?
Right.
No, we're not just going to move on. And this ain't how we do it.
Well, y'all keep talking in circles.
And this is the perfect example. And this is the beautiful thing about it, because we can go down these rabbit holes and have real conversations.
But
that's
we got
the
off
dopeness
of
of
the
this
topic.
show.
I just want to return back to the topic that you actually asked. That was more interesting than kind of the back and forth who's over talking who. Let's just reset the button. Let's just push the reset, and
or we can
re-ask your question, and then that way we can continue that conversation.
See how Melanie was being very respectful. And
but it's still no. Because the point of the matter is that, and this is the perfect example of illustrating that women refuse, no matter what, under any circumstance, to hold other women accountable. And this is why they find themselves in a position that they find themselves in every single day.
I gotta be honest. I just don't like arguing. I've like I said, I've told everybody I'm 40 years old. I'm at a place in life where, unless it's really, really important to me, like it's a core value, belief, or my life is on the line, I just don't have the energy to argue. So sometimes it's not that we don't want to hold someone accountable, but you have to understand your audience. You have to understand sometimes if you headbutt a person, they're just going to headbutt you back.
But
you definitely argue with Mr. Logic.
Hold on, y'all. Let her finish. Y'all, let her finish.
No, this is a quick question.
Hold on. Let her finish first. Go ahead, Melanie.
That's so
that we're not that
right. Hey, Melanie, isn't the purpose of your videos? I see a lot of your videos. Isn't the purpose of your videos of holding women accountable?
No.
Okay, so now if I can show you videos that you got specifically saying holding women accountable. You're quoting Kevin Samuels. I didn't see this. So now you have an opportune time to hold a woman accountable that you see right now that's been a distraction to the conversation, and you fail to do that. So now look,
I thought I did, because I guess maybe I think what the difference is that maybe the style of how I did it, maybe you have an expectation that I'm going to go in on her or start cussing her out or like shut the F and raise my voice.
You ain't said nothing to her.
I just said, but that's when
you
I
ain't said,
came in.
excuse me, honey. You ain't
No,
said, we
I
didn't
did-
expect you to dive in and do the WWF on her, but you ain't said nothing. Nothing. You ain't said one word.
Yeah,
You ain't
she
said
don't have to
what
cuss you
they
out.
talking about.
Okay.
You ain't said none of that.
Look, is that I still got respect for you, but guess what? I just saw your videos. So, like I said, it ain't nothing. I just saw it. So when I saw it, it conflict what I see right now. That's all I'm saying, baby. You still cool with me? I give you a thumbs up. And then if I see your videos and I see you fuck up, guess what I'm gonna do in your comment section? I'm gonna say you fucking up. And I'm not gonna be a simp ass nigga that say, oh no, I'm gonna tell you fucking up. Now look at Kayla eyes and look at K eyes. Cause guess what? They know I'm gonna keep it 1,100.
I don't care.
All right, and I still love you, baby. All right, go ahead.
All right, let me go get let me tell.
So as they discuss the last topic, this is Melanie King's chance to redeem herself. She jumps in and starts talking about things nobody said. She starts pouting Kevin Samuels' talking points, getting loud, becoming belligerent, and basically doing everything that 5 minutes earlier she said she didn't want to do. And it's all for the validation and acceptance of these black men.
The topic is, if your preference is not of your skin color, is that a form of self-hate? The context behind this, so you have a black man that says he only dates white women. You have a black woman that says they only date white men. If your preference is not of your skin color, is that a form of self-hate?
Black person does not like or is not at all attracted to black people, that is internalized. Wait, can everybody go on mute? That's internalized racism for sure. Like in this country, absolutely. But if you just like, I prefer this, but I like this too, maybe it depends.
Can you describe internalized racism specifically for me, please?
Yes. That is when the racist ideologies that are in the fabric of our society here in America affect you, and you see your own people as less than. You see your own people, I'm talking about black people, as less attractive. You see them as less worthy, less whatever, due to all of the programming that has been happening for hundreds of years. So you have internalized that. Even though you're black, you also are projecting these things and feeling these ways about people that look like you. That's when you have internalized this racism. So I'm not mad at anybody who, is attracted to whoever they're attracted to. That's fine. But if you are anti your own race as a black person, that I absolutely believe is internalized racism, and it's a form of self-hate and programming and all of that.
So if you don't want to date, if I don't like, let's just say, for example, I'm single and I don't like to date women with light-skinned women, is that a form of internalized racism?
If you don't like to date light-skinned women,
let's just say I will not date light-skinned women. Is that a form of internalized racism?
It's colorism. You're black and you just are anti light-skinned woman.
Not anti. I will not. Okay, I will not date a black woman. Is that anti? Is that internalized racism?
Anti-black women, and yes, that would be
reverse racism.
I never said that term.
I'm sorry, not reverse. Internalized racism.
Yes.
If I say I will not date black women, that's internalized
And
racism.
you're black?
Yes.
Like we're using you? Absolutely. Because
Interesting.
why wouldn't you want? And
Wait, I want to say though, it's not because
wait, but
you have to ask the black man why he maybe doesn't want that. You're just assuming it's based on racism.
I just wanted
it could be you can have an experience with a group of women, and I will say across the board, as I've talked to men and black men in particular. It's not that they hate black women. They love black women. They want a black woman. That's usually a black man's first choice. But usually he can't find the black woman who is fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative. It's all this pushback, and it's always the need to be right. And if we're honest, we can be argumentative. We can tell it like it is. But no, Kay, you've been dominating the conversation tonight. And I think some of us want to talk. It's like you're having a conversation with yourself.
Melanie, I see you're trying
over and over. I'm not. I'm just
and
like,
you're gonna have to
I'm
backtrack on that logic.
You argue back just to be right, and you're not really saying anything new. Okay. You're just arguing for the sake of it, but you're not presenting anything new or factual. Everyone and you're just assuming that black men are racist when they're not. Black men are not racist because they date outside their race. Racist. You just assume that it's internalized racism.
I didn't say they were racist.
You said, isn't that internalized racism? Isn't that a form of racism, or am I wrong?
You're wrong.
I'm not trying to go at you and argue with you, but literally you have dominated this panel and we get it, okay? We got your point. I think everyone knows where you stand. Melanie. You don't have to say it over and over. Can other people talk? Kay has been quiet. Q has been quiet while you keep going back and forth. And I don't like what's the narrative that you're putting out there about black men.
Oh my goodness.
Because unless you've talked to them and studied them and actually had one-on-ones, you don't know what you're talking about.
You're trying to redeem yourself, and I get it.
I need to redeem myself because it's middle school and I want the captain of the football team to pick me. Listen, I'm a grown woman. I don't need validation from the internet. Trust me. I'm not new to the game. So don't talk down on me with your shaming language. I don't need your shaming language. You can back down, put your whiskers away, put your tail away. We get it. I know. Can't nobody tell you nothing. But we have all been quiet and let you go on and on. And you cannot stand to not hear your own voice for 1 minute.
I was talking to
and it's overbearing. It's overbearing. And what you just said about black men is unfair. Because let me tell you something. You know why? You know why I take exception to that? Because I have a black father who has gone to hell and back to support me from my childhood. This man is 72. Recently, his cancer just came back. And I went through the hardest time in my life. And that man, my mother is disabled. My father has cancer. And I'm not trying to redeem myself. This is not a popularity contest. If you don't like me, say la vie, Godspeed and God bless. I don't give a damn. But I'm going to tell you what, I am tired of black men being put down and said who they are when every black man in my family is a good man. No, they're a great man. And particularly my father, when I went through the hardest time in my life, as I'm going through now, he got my elderly mother, he got my disabled mother, and him was still with cancer. They moved down here to be with me and to take care of me. My father said, I don't care what else I got going on. He's calling his cancer doctor and find out, can he have surgery down here? Because he don't want to leave me when I'm down bad. I got uncles that took care of me.
Yes.
So when you tell me I'm here because I want to redeem myself, no, I am sick of the one-sided narrative about black men. Now, if you want to talk statistically about all men, black men have been improving more than any other group in this country.
Oh my goodness, Melanie.
I'm sorry. Listen, don't give me the shaming. Oh, I'm sorry. You're just so emotional. Yes, I am. Because that's what women should be. When something hits,
I didn't call you emotional
all night. Everything is about you. You got to be the star of the show. We get it. I'm a bow out. You got it now.
I didn't call you emotional.
Go ahead. Let's listen to a diatribe for another 10 minutes.
Perfect. I didn't call you emotional, Melanie. What in the world are you talking about? I was actually having a regular conversation with Anton, as we do every week. And you came in because you probably saw the comments talking about she's a chameleon. So you're like, I got to hold someone accountable. Kay is the number one enemy. Let's do it. I get it. I've been here before. People do this. I mean, I've seen it happen multiple times. It's fine. I still think you're a great woman. I thank you for sharing your story with us. I'm not mad at you at all.
And pay attention to their reaction. Now they can rest in feminine energy because their preference is fighting and protecting them against a black woman. And while nobody's minimizing the pain she's feeling for her sick father, these are white woman's tears because she brought up the subject of her father. But even that didn't keep her from continuing to attack Kay for no reason. She is trying to redeem herself, and she's becoming defensive about things nobody even said to her.
But I was talking.
You don't even hear yourself. You don't hear your tone. You are so condescending in tone, and you think it's just normal conversational tone, and that's what's scary. And this is why when a lot of times, you know, if somebody has had experiences, if we get back to the question and not your lesson to me, but if we get back to the question about is when it went into the direction of black men, it was talking about all people at first. But if we get back to it and to say that it's internalized racism, for some people it is, but it is not the vast majority. Most people are open to people. Most black men want to marry black women. They want to be with black women. What they're finding difficult right now is if you ask black men. Are you asking black men? Or are you just assuming?
Okay,
but if they tell the truth,
Melanie,
it's just so you believe that they're lying. They don't have a reason to lie. If they're not dating black women, what do they care what black women
you're
think?
That's really hard for no reason.
Okay, I know. When you have no argument, you're gonna attack. You're gonna attack my style, and you're gonna come some other way because you have no facts and logic. You have no facts and logic. You just want to argue from an emotional place. I know, shame me. I know. I just want to be liked so much. I need so much validation. You're right. I can't get it no way but to come on this show and argue with you. You are that special. You're that special, Kay. I can't get nobody to pay attention to me unless I come on this show and take you down.
Are you okay?
No, I'm just tired of your voice.
I was
over and over
talking to Anton.
Yeah, you're talking to everyone. It's a one-sided conversation with you. And you're not saying anything new. If you were actually spitting facts or actually had something new to say, it's just over and over until you browbeat a person into agreeing with you, but they never do.
You're the winner.
So you got to know when to let it go, like I'm going to do now.
Good job, Melanie.
People in the chat were calling her a chameleon, and that's what I noticed about her even before she went on this show. Only when she was backed into a corner by the men did she change her position and went on the attack. Also, what I noticed about this show in particular is that usually the moderator doesn't allow a lot of over-talking and interrupting so that the audience can understand what's going on. But when the preference interrupts and chimes in, the moderator allows it. They are all the same.
Perfect.
Miss Melanie, what is your cash app?
Anton,
what is your cash app?
No, I totally agree. Hey, Miss
what is your cash app?
Hold on, wait.
Anton,
y'all, simmer down,
I mean, Chicago. Anton, what I was saying though, because a lot of what Melanie was saying, I agree with. I do not think that all men, I don't think all black men are in that situation of self-hate and whatnot. As I specified earlier on multiple occasions when I mentioned.
No, okay, you try to backtrack now. You try to backtrack.
No. Watch your tone.
Hold on, y'all. Simmer down, family. Simmer down.
So when I was talking to Anton earlier, I said it, I think twice, that I get it if you grow up a certain place and whatnot, you know, if you have a preference or if that's who you're around. I said that. And if you, but my thing is, if you are like, I do not find black women attractive at all, and you're black, like, I think that you have been indoctrinated with the racist ideologies that are very pervasive within this country. That's all
Fake
I'm saying.
news.
So let me ask you a question,
That's
Kay.
all I'm saying. So
Wait.
go
Let me
ahead.
ask.
Go ahead.
Wait. Let me ask you a
That's fake
question.
news. What you're saying
Okay.
is incorrect.
Oh
It's
my
a
goodness.
fallacy
Let
in your
Anton
argument
talk.
that's not based on fact. It's based on your feelings. It
Okay.
is
That's
not
true.
a
He
fact
is
that
right.
black
He is
men are
right, Kay.
racist just
Okay.
because
Anton, what were
they
I
are
you
not
agree.
dating black women.
So now they want to reward her with cash apps, not for speaking any specific facts, but for merely arguing with Kay. Melanie King didn't say anything specific, she didn't speak any facts, and yelling fake news is not an argument. But she is giving us a glimpse as to why her husband divorced her.
I'm
What were you about
sorry.
to say?
I
It's
agree.
the same way
Look,
black
hey,
women
Miss, hey,
refuse to
wait,
date white men
Hold on.
are
One
not.
at a time.
I
Splitting
don't
hairs, y'all.
understand.
One at a
I
time.
don't
One at a
Are
time.
you
I just
saying
want to say
black
this.
women who date white men do they have
okay.
internalized racism? Are
Uh,
you saying that
I
that
haven't
go both
talked
Miss
ways?
all
Melody,
night.
hold on. Hey, Melanie, isn't the purpose of your videos? I see a lot of your videos. Isn't the purpose of your videos of holding women accountable?
No.
Melanie,
Hey, y'all. Hey, real talk. One at a time, y'all. One at a time.
Hey,
One
hold
at
on.
a time.
So can
I've been
everybody
quiet. You've been talking the whole time. So look, I want to say, Miss
Logic, is
Melody.
it possible?
Yeah, I got you next, Caleb.
Hold on, Caleb. Miss Melody. This is what we need in the. This is what we need in the black community.
No, this is what black men need, their preference to fight for them. This feeds their ego, and when they can't win an argument with a black woman, they can rely on another woman to do it for them. There was a time when black women would simply accept when black men bring in their preference and give them the idea that they are a better version of a black woman. That's why Cardi B is in black spaces. That's why Danny Lay is in black spaces and using the N-word with immunity. Keep in mind that many black boys graduated with no more than a 4th grade education, and now they're grown men who follow whatever the white man says because they don't have the capacity to think for themselves. And the white man says that the standard of beauty is a white woman, and that's what these uneducated black men perpetuate, and they want you to fall in line behind it. Melanie King has not demonstrated any value other than the value that these black men place on her skin tone. Otherwise, why would he say that this biracial woman is what the black community needs?